This is James with Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV in Georgetown, Kentucky. Wanted to do a walk around today on a 2026 Verona. We'll get started on this unit just like I do a typical walk around with a customer when they come in to either look at a unit or pick one up after purchasing. This is the Renegade Verona 40Vrb. It's on the M2 106 chassis by Freightliner. It's got a Cummins ISL in it with a 20,000 pound towing capacity and Allison transmission. If you look at the engine here, you got your typical see-through containers. You'll be able to look at the fuel water separator here and see if you had any water in the bottom there. You can see how much fluid you have in the power steering reservoir. Got your oil dipstick here and transmission dipstick there to check fluid capacity. Go around here to the other side. Coolant reservoir, windshield washer reservoir down here, and your air filter here. You have an air filter minder here that will tell you how much you have left in your air filter and whether it's time to replace or clean it. Cooling package at the front of it, and this is the other side of the engine. Go down the passenger side here on the camp side. Most of your storage is going to be on the camp side here. You have a digital lock here for keyless entry. Makes it a little bit better if you forget the keys or you don't want to pack the keys on with you as you go. Outdoor entertainment center here. You got your Samsung TV and a sound bar. This is actually on a strong magnet here that you can pull out and adjust from side to side to be able to, if the sun's hitting at a certain angle and you don't want the awning out, or if you're just wanting more people to see better visual on the TV, that will actually pull out so you can adjust it side to side on how you would like to view it. Down here is the first storage compartment. You'll see your slide locks there and your air hose as well for being able to air up tires or other things that you would need to air up if you were going to the pool or something like that and had some pool toys for the kids. You could air it up with that. One of the additions they've added this year is motion sensing lights. So if you have the lights on at the Firefly touchpad and you come out to the actual cargo space and you open the door, that light will automatically come on and go off as you're going. That way you don't have to fight with trying to do it when you are setting up late at night or you forget something outside and have to come out, or you're enjoying a beverage outside with friends and need to go get another one. Inside this storage compartment, you have a receptacle if you want to add a refrigerator, like an outdoor refrigerator out here. Need to run a extension cord out. You can run it out through one of these little spaces here. That's just a twist out cap. You can remove it and run a cord through there and then just put it back in when you're done. Moving on down the side here, as you saw previously, this is kind of like a pass-through storage container where you would be able to put longer tables or camping chairs, or if you carry a pop-up tent for an event or whatever you need that's a little bit longer, you got quite a bit of space in here to be able to add it in there. Got another storage area here. It's got a little bit of a cutout in it so you can again put a little bit bulkier items and have a little bit more storage room. It's a good area to store the larger items. Another storage bay on this side, even deeper. Like I said, if you wanted to pack a fold-out table or something, if the campground you're staying at didn't have picnic tables and campsites, or you needed to shove some longer items back, you have the ability to do that. One thing I will touch on is the way these boxes are constructed. With these here, if you over time you're noticing that the door gets harder to shut or is not latching correctly, you can loosen and tighten these by the nuts on the back to either make it tighter or loosen it up some depending on what kind of issues you're having. Those black boxes back in there that you see are the covers for the motors, for the slide outs, and also wiring for like your rear turn signals. Gives the technician a little bit easier access. That's a good thing about the Super Cs. Even if you look at the engine at the front, the engine is not underneath a bed in the back like a Class A, so you will have more technicians that want to, it's a little easier to work on, and they won't want to turn it down because they won't want to dirty up your coach. The back of it here is another storage container. Like I said, this unit has a 20,000 pound towing capacity. If you look on the back here, they've started adding another Voyager monitor plug-in. You can add that if you're pulling behind a trailer. You can actually buy the pigtails and an additional camera, and it will plug in here and feed directly to the monitor that we'll get to in a little bit. That is a dedicated monitoring system, and you'll be able to switch it in between either the rear view camera on the back or whatever one you add to the trailer on the back as well. Here you got your power bay. The plug reel here is on a manual pull out, but a automatic retract in, so you will have to manually pull it out, but it gives you the ability to stand here and reel it in and make sure that you're not getting any kind of wires tangling up in here, and you can actually physically be here to go through it and let it not tangle up. You have a receptacle in this storage compartment as well to add any kind of plug-ins, and you also have your surge protector / transfer switch here. You've probably heard in previous videos, I still recommend doing a surge protector at the actual pole at the campground. Gives you a little bit more comfort knowing that if you do have a surge, that surge protector at the pole will take the brunt of it and blow that one before it blows this one in here, as this is an internally built one. So if something happens to this one, it will have to be replaced. Cummins Onan generator. And you also have the storage compartment for your sewage dumpage here. They have added it here instead of in the wet bay, which makes it nice because you're not letting your sewage pipe be in your freshwater bay over here that we're about to see. Freshwater bay here, the hose for filling up either city water or your tank fill for your storage tanks is kind of like the electric, well, it is like the electrical cord. It's on a manual pull out, but an automatic reel back in, so you can stand here and retract it and not have it get tangled up. You got your black tank dump and your gray tank dump. Tank fill and city water, so if you're just strictly on city water, you flip this up, takes it direct from the source down, fills up your tanks so that you can have fresh water in your tanks as you're traveling or you're boondocking. You got your low point drains here, your hose reel here. You got a spray away hose quick connect here for your water hose, so you can spray stuff down if you do get dirty while you're out exploring at campsites. And your sea level tank monitor right here that will tell you your freshwater tank, your gray tank, and your black tank. This one has been winterized since it's on our lot during the cold months, so that's why you see a little bit in the gray and black tanks. Here's your black tank. You can tell because it has the sensors for the toilets at 50 and 100 here. That way your toilet reads how much your black tank is on the macerator toilet. Got your sewage hook up here, and you can see the actual lever arms for releasing the gray and black tank here. If they need to be tightened or loosened, you have a little set screw here that you can use. Gray tank, not much to see there. your Aqua Hot 450D for providing heat into the coach. We have seen a little bit of it, well, there are a lot of issues out of the 250D, but moving up to the 450D, based on shop performance and stuff I've read online, we haven't been seeing as many issues out of the 450D, so that was a good advancement to add on this one. In here you have your Xantrax inverter and also your solar charger there. We got this unit plugged up and running off the inverter now, so that's why you hear the fan motors going. And here's your electrical bay for your batteries. We got 3 100 amp hour lithium batteries and your chassis batteries. Your air hose chuck for the air hose I showed you earlier goes right here with a quick connect fitting to be able to air stuff up. We've also added 3 200 watt solar panels to this unit to give the extra solar charge, provided also with the lithium. Right here at the driver's step and over on the passenger side step, it's a dual fuel tank, so you will have a dual fuel spot on each side as well as DEF. I recommend, if you're buying DEF anywhere, make sure it is properly sealed when you buy it. You will see some places like truck stops, maybe even Walmart, when people will buy DEF, use the DEF, return it and add water or anything like that, so you do not want to contaminate the system. So make sure you are putting sealed DEF in there or DEF straight from the pump. You also have your grid heater plug in here, but with the way new engines are developed, if you turn it on during cold weather, let the wait to start lamp go out. If it's extremely cold, turn the key off again, turn it on again until the wait to stop goes out. You won't have any trouble actually starting the engine. And that's about it for the outside, so let's go take a look at the inside. Coming into the interior here, this one is going to be in Tuscany, so you have a lot of browns related through here. As soon as you walk in the entrance here, you'll have your Xantrax controller here, fire extinguisher, and your battery disconnect switch. So when it's on, it'll be red illuminated on, and you can slide this up to cut the power to the unit. This is the battery disconnect, like I said. If you're leaving it for a long time and don't want any kind of ghost draw on the power system, you can flip that off and kill power to the coach. You have an entry step override that will keep the step from going in and out every time that you open the door. It's good if you're staying for a long time camping. That way every time you open the door, it's not moving in and out. You also have an e-start here. If your chassis batteries run low and you've been camping for a week, 2 weeks, and you have a little bit of issue with the chassis batteries, you can hit an e-start here. It'll send signal to the battery isolation manager that will flip it so that you can put power from the coach to the chassis and vice versa. So if you're having problems with the coach side of it and want to pull charge from the chassis side, you'll just flip the e-start and then you'll be able to power up. This unit was ordered with the overhead bunk over the cab area. This bed will pull out. That way you have extra room if you have the kids, grandkids, a friend, a relative wanting to come camping with you at some point. You have the ability to pull that out and make it into a bed. There's a lot of ways that you can add extra room for sleeping if it's just you and your spouse or you alone. Order a coach how you want to order it, and you can worry about everybody else in the future trying to find a place for them to sleep. Make it how you want to make it. We got the over the bunk TV here as well. Control for the lights. You got ceiling, bunk, floor, accent, and extending and retracting the bunk shade here. That way You can shut out the sun during the day, or even open it up at night so you can feel like you're sleeping underneath the stars. It is tinted, but you get the picture on that. You have a 12-volt receptacle up here with a USB and a C charger too for most of your phones and tablets now. You got the fast charge, so they've added those in here for you. Dinette. This will fold down into a bed as well. There's a safety lock underneath the bottom of it. You flip it, push it down from the center of the table and set it on the edge. That way you're not putting all the pressure down on the edge. And then you'll be able to open these drawers, and these are the mats to finish making out the bed. So you have those, but if you don't ever plan on making the dinette into a bed, just take those out and use it for the extra storage. But as you'll see, there's a lot of overhead storage in here and in the kitchen as well. So you do have a lot of storage in here for household items that you would need while you're out on your journey. All the windows have pull down shades. You have your day shade for blocking out the sun, and then a privacy shade as well. Microwave, sink here. Got the covers over the sink and a cover over the convection cooktop. Cool thing that they've added recently in some of these models is it gives you an area in one of the drawers or a pantry on another unit that gives you the ability to store the covers down here, and you're not trying to find a place to put them up underneath the sink or in a drawer or underneath the dinette table. They now make a specific storage area so you can put them down in there, or you could use it for cutting boards or any other pans. Usually on stock units or units we're selling, we keep all the controllers in one designated area. That way we know where they are. Fireplace controller, as you see, that's an added option from Renegade that we added into the stock unit that we have. So it adds a little bit of extra heat during the cold, but not cold enough to really turn on heaters, but also for ambience and to set. Just a nice little feature to have. Over top of the microwave you have the storage, but you also have your Renegade's owner manual that will give you troubleshooting tips, give you points of advice such as make sure all the leveling jacks are down before you put out the slides. We'll give you serial numbers on all your components inside the coach, but also has all the owner's manuals for every appliance or add-on that they've added into this coach. You got your Freightliner owner's manual, spare water filter, touch-up paint, and lubricant up there as well. If you're not familiar with the Renegade brand, they run off the Firefly system, so everything in the coach is controlled from this panel here. So at the home you have a lights on, master on and off switch here, so you can turn all the lights off or flip them all on at one time. You have options for aqua hot burner if it's really cold and you're wanting really good hot water. Sorry about that, excuse me. You also have the aqua hot electric that if you're just wanting to run a little bit of heat or get the system heated up, and aqua hot preheat for preheating the engine before you take off on one of those cold days. Also shows your fresh gray and black tanks here, ability to turn on your water pump, tank heaters, battery system percentage, generator start and stop, and letting you know if your AGS or auto gen start is enabled or disabled. From the light screen, it's like the previous screen. You got a master on and off. You're able to operate any light by itself on here as well. Exterior for the porch awning or cargo. Cargo, like if you're wanting to operate the lights that come on and off automatically, like I showed you in the storage compartments. Bedroom ceiling and reading, and then mid and rear ceiling and vanity bath. On the electrical side, this will show you start stop for your generator, where your power source is coming from, what kind of power you're pulling in or putting out. And you can also set your auto gen start settings to battery percentage, HVAC load, quiet times to when it starts, your quiet time, and quiet time to stop it. So if you're at a campground that doesn't want you to run the generators and you're not plugged up to 50 amp, this will tell it when to start and stop at certain times. Climate control lets you control different zones, front and rear. If you like your bedroom to be cold at night or warmer at night than what the house portion is, you can change the different controls there in between cool, heat pump, out of your AC units, or the aqua hot to be able to provide heat. The fan option just lets you control the fans in the bathrooms if you want them up, down for circulation, what speed you want them run on. That'll be the area here where you can control that. The slides and awning section, as you can see here, will let you be able to retract or extend your slides and use the leveling button to either auto level, all retract, or manually level yourself depending on your preference. One of the nice things they do, especially if you're new to RVs or to the Renegade brand, they color code by section. So if you see these buttons are blue, it tells you it's for the main house slide. The green ones tell you it's for the rear slide, and the yellow tells you it's for the awnings here. Going into the settings, you can set up to where you can control everything in the coach like you would from the Firefly panel from an app. If you're setting up at a campground and you don't know if you're too close to a tree or too close to any kind of object, you can be able to add this to your phone and control it from the app, and then that way you can be outside and physically see how close the slides are to where you're trying to put them out. And also check temperature if you're away from the coach at that time. Make sure your AC units are running if you have an animal on the inside of the coach while you're away. You have different diagnostics modes that'll tell you network diagnostics. That'll tell you what is providing electric at that time, and what if you have a red button here when you think that a light should be on or your tank heater should be on. If a red shows up, that's a malfunction indicator. You also have your Floorplan here from Renegade. Your auto dimming mode to automatically turn the screen off if you haven't used it in a little bit. And cleaning mode just turns the screen off for a few seconds so you can wipe it down to get the fingerprints off, or if you just feel like cleaning up the coach a little bit. Your GUI version and your LC version are what Firefly uses to figure out what version of Firefly you're on. So if you ever have to call into Firefly, you'll be able to see that here to be able to give them exactly where you are version wise so they can properly diagnose your unit. Samsung fridge. You got the travel lock here. Nice little thing that they added. It's got a little magnet in there. If you have kids, grandkids, or people that just commonly take the travel lock out and set it wherever, it's a nice thing to have that you can just stick it on the door and know it's there. Or peace of mind when you're going through doing final close-ups before you travel, to know that you locked the fridge. Open this up here. Standard residential fridge. Ice maker on and off here, and also being able to change settings. Freezer. Like I said, on this stock unit, we added the fireplace in here. If you don't get the fireplace, it's just an extra storage space down there for you. Storage underneath the TV, a little bit there, and above. can use this as a pantry. And then here you have your fuses and circuit breakers. So if you have any kind of electrical issues, you can come in here and see if anything's tripped. Behind here is going to be the main motherboard for the Firefly system. So it gives you a little bit of a diagram here, if it's not for you, for the technicians working on the coach to know what pins and what outputs the G12 panel is controlling. Half bath here. You got storage above the toilet. And then you also have a medicine cabinet here as well. Dryer and washer. On almost every stock unit that we go ahead and order it with the washer and dryer as the added option, because a lot of people prefer that. But if you don't want it, you can always use this as extra space for storage. We're moving into the master bedroom. You have storage. A little bit of storage on both sides here to keep some stuff. You also have a 12-volt receptacle with the USB and the C charger on both sides for charging phones, CPAP machine, or whatever kind of electronic devices you need. More storage at the top here. Also a 12-volt receptacle back there. You can probably see it off of here. And you have your reading lights above the bed. Another control panel in case you want, and you're laying in bed and you forgot to turn off all the lights in the coach. You can also turn on your water pump and turn the generator start and stop on from right there as well. Plenty of storage on both sides. I'll open one up here. Clothing rack, so if you have a little bit of stuff you need to hang up, you got one on both sides of those, and some pull-out drawers here. Emergency exit window. TV as well is on a pull down here. You can pull that down and be able to pull out and angle the TV how you would like to angle it, or just get it closer, a little bit closer to you. Another Firefly touch panel like what we had up front. So you can be able to control stuff from back here as well. That way you don't have to go to the front to make any changes or turn off lights or change temperature in the coach. You can do it from right here in the master bedroom as well. Shower. Middle of the door has a very strong magnet on it. It takes a little bit of oomph to pull it out, but it is on a very strong magnet to open it up. Master bathroom. Window in the master bath to add that extra ventilation that you would need. If it's got a nice breeze outside, you can open that as well. Got a towel hanger too. Macerator toilet with the controls. I should have touched base on that in the front bath, but you have 3 modes. You have eco, normal, and empty. Empty's if you're traveling and you want to get any extra water out of the toilet before you travel, you can use that. That way it's not sloshing around on you while you're traveling down the road. It will tell you when you're about midway, it'll turn orange, and at red you'll be tank full, which only gives you about 4 to 5 more flushes before it will shut down the toilet. That way you don't overflow sewage coming back through. So one thing I forgot to touch on that I just now thought about. So instead of the couch here, it looks like couch, but it is the recliner system that you can add on. You have your controls here, a light there. You got massaging feature, heat feature, and being able to put the legs in and out. The middle part folds down. Well, so you have cup holders and a USB and C plug in here as well to be able to charge phones while you're sitting on the couch enjoying a movie or TV or sports event. Another 12-volt receptacle with the USB and C port as well. You can fold this back up. It's got a pull for the middle. And you can turn that into a recliner too if you have more than 2 people sitting on the couch at a time. Or if you and your significant other want to be a little bit closer on the couch, you both can put out your feet and be able to be closer. In the past couple years, they've updated the inside of the cab to all Freightliners to make it a little bit more comfortable and more modern for drivers, so that's why it's updated in here as well. They moved the shifter from the dash to a stalk shifter, so you have your drive, neutral, and reverse here. You flip it down once for engine brake on 1, engine brake on 2, and engine brake on 3. So on the Verona and up, you have more options for engine brake. Since it's a bigger engine, more towing capacity, you'll be able to change that to the levels you want to be able to change it to. Down here on the dash is some of your controllers, as far as your hazard lights, cab step lights, footwell lights, suspension dump, differential lock, work light. If you have that on and you open up the engine compartment, there's a light down there to be able to, so you can be down in the engine compartment and see what you're looking for. Traction control, lane departure system, traction control. Some of these options, I believe these options are for changing the camera. Like I told you, on the back you can add the additional trailer camera, so this is where you could switch between which camera you're actually looking at, whether it's the rear view, so look at your tow the whole time, your tow vehicle the whole time, or if you're using the one for the actual trailer. You have an additional controller here for your stabilizers, so you can control it from inside the cab and not have to use the Firefly system or the app. If you're right here, you know you're set, you can go ahead and hit it and start getting the stabilizers down while you're getting out of the vehicle. USB plug for charging phones and an aux plug. If you don't want to hook up your phone through the Bluetooth system, you can do it there as well. They've also, this is one of our big add-ons that we were doing in past years that Renegade has actually started doing from the factory now, is a dedicated camera monitor, so that when you turn on your turn signals or put in reverse, you're not getting the camera feed here in your Garmin dash if you're driving down the road using the GPS, or mainly GPS or audio controls, but you're getting that up here like a rear view camera instead. So when you hit the turn signal, put in reverse, it's up here like a rear view camera than it would be down in the dash now. So a lot of people have said that, you know, you're on a tight freeway in a big city, you got the exit 1A and 1B coming up, you don't know, your GPS is going, you turn on your turn signal to get over, and then all of a sudden you don't know which one that you're getting off at. It'll now go up here into this one, that way you can still use your GPS and know which exit you actually need to take. And that's the inside of the coach. It was kind of a quick rundown, but it gave you an idea of the layout and the space inside of this unit. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you need to know more information or would just like to discuss a coach or see more options that there are out there, please get in contact with me or another member of the sales team here at Bluegrass Truck, Bus, and RV. My name's James. I'd be happy to just chat with you on if you had any questions or looking for different options. We're always here to help, and let us know whatever you need. Thank you.